We've been trying to warn them for so long, but they just wouldn't listen. We've talked a lot about the insanity that has gone on in the world. We've all seen it. There's been exhaustion from all this. Specifically, and we're going to tie this in to a larger cultural issue, but it ties into pop culture. Okay. So the new Star Trek was just released, and some people like it, some people don't, but it is filled with, some would say, DEI, wokeness, gayness, whatever, right? And there's a clip of a couple of the actors that revealed that they are, in fact, a lesbian couple in the upcoming series, right? Hey, representation, am I right? Right? There we go. So let's start with a little bit of preface here. This is them talking about them being lesbians.
Yeah, it's a dream.
And that you can yell at people.
And I can yell at people. That's what I do anyway. It's awesome.
She yells at me on and off camera.
Yeah.
For me personally, playing Jet, it's really interesting because I was single through Discovery. It's been really interesting to incorporate a relationship because we are romantically involved on the show. And I was talking to Gina about this earlier, that I didn't think our dynamic made sense at first because I thought I would be the more dominant personality in a relationship. And honestly, when I watched it with my real wife, she was like, I love this dynamic.
Yeah, it's a dream.
Okay. So they're gay.
It's also fucking gay, yeah.
Right. We get it, right?
We get
it, right? We've known it. We've known it forever.
Congrats.
Right? You're gay. Awesome. Like, legitimately nobody cares, right? But one thing that we've seen here as this representation has been put in all of this media, your favorite franchises, your Star Trek now is out there, is we've seen people like push back. They're like, man, I have gay fatigue, right? That is something that has been a thing. And it's a lot of it stems from this movement that we've seen over the last decade, where it went from gay, right, to LGB to LGBTQ, and then the plus. And we've seen over the last year or so the LGB saying, yo, dog, I'm done with this TQ stuff over here.
Right? Some quick context. Back, especially in the 90s, Craig, and I'm sure you could talk about this. Like, one of the things that that community really wanted was to assimilate. They just wanted, the whole idea was, we just kind of want to be left alone. We just want the equal rights and just to be like everybody else. Like, that was the deal. And I and many others were like, yeah, we're all for that. Let's help you get that. And now what you're seeing is the complete opposite. Is now you need to assimilate to us, and we need to put it in your face in everything. So it's a polar opposite now. So that fatigue makes a lot of sense.
I think everybody here has felt this a little bit, right? Just the overwhelming, whether it's been rainbows or walking into Target and seeing
targeting children, weird shit going on. Yeah.
Right. So this has been something that has been building over the last little bit, and it will ultimately backfire on people. And we're starting to see data on this, which sucks that this movement has been co-opted by another movement and ultimately causing, whether it's been the idea of, well, we need to have representation in this series, or we need to have this. And oftentimes that representation isn't even close to what real life looks like, right? You may have 25% of the cast may be gay, right? In reality, we know that that's not reality. But you walk around, 1/4 of the people in society are not that. So these shows over-represent here. So I saw this post and I was like, this was interesting to me. I'll read this as best I can. Fellow homosexuals.
Oh my God. Can we have that as an intro? How do you do, fellow homosexuals?
That's how we start all our meetings, behind the scenes, every time.
It's literally how every meeting starts. I call to order all. Hello, fellow homosexuals. Fellow homosexuals, gay fatigue is real and building fast. The bubble is going to pop. In fact, it's popping now. People are fed up. Normal America has no time for this. We stopped being cute a long time ago. Now, once again, this person is gay here and they see it. The response is, I'm gay and I have fatigue. Like I'm becoming homophobic. I can only imagine how normal straight people feel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The fact that gets me in this pitch, they repeatedly make, here's a fat, unattractive lesbian who you're required to love and adore because she's a fat, unattractive lesbian. And mind you, I'm using the term unattractive broadly to cover more than just the looks, right? Like who specifically looks like that? Nobody except fat rejects, right? But this is something that, I mean, I have felt this. I have seen this. I know. And as you said, Phoenix, for the longest time, it was like, cool, man, you're gay, whatever, like nobody cared. And, we always go back in time. We say, like, we talk about with the Stranger Things thing, where if that scene was actually done in the 80s, people have been like, I can't even look at you because I'm going to be gay. Like there was this stigma in the 80s because the AIDS pandemic and HIV and all that stuff, right? And, people would have freaked out totally different instead of the 2025 version of Stranger Things, which is, oh, I love you, let's all hug together and whatever, right? In reality, they would have freaked out because they thought they would have caught AIDS from the gay guy and they wouldn't have touched one anyway, but whatever, we talked about that. But we've seen this pushback now, and there is a new study here, specifically when it comes to men. And this is courtesy of, once again, consider the source. This is like Pink News here. And they say men under 24 are returning to homophobic views of past generations, study suggests.
Shocking.
Let's go.
Men born in 2000s are far more likely to hold conservative views on LGBTQ rights compared to previous generations and women of the same age, a study has suggested. Now, I first would love to hear y'all's thoughts before we get to some of other people's thoughts here.
My first thought is women, what the fuck? Catch up.
Oh, I'm sure it's there too.
Yeah, it's there. It's just not said as much.
Yeah.
It's going to take women longer because they like having the gay best friend. Yeah, slay girl. Look at that outfit. It looks good on you. Meanwhile, a lot of those people are also being predatory towards women.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not surprised at all. Nobody cares about the rights of gay people. They just want to be able to eat a meal, feel like they can buy a home in a few years and settle down and have a family. They're not worried about all these social issues that we've been obsessing over the past 20 years. I remember being in elementary school and getting in trouble because they were talking to me about gay rights. And I was like, well, maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal if they just acted normal.
Well,
What the fuck? That's awesome.
Just the idea of look, you want to, if you're gay, cool, awesome, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't need to be your entire personality.
Exactly.
Right?
It's just like we're constantly hearing it, constantly. Just act like a normal person. I don't talk about being straight every day and no one bothers me.
Yeah.
So if you stop obsessing over talking about being gay every day, people won't bother you. They'll let you do your thing. Stop pushing on me. I said that in elementary school. Like it's been going on for that long. And I've barely ever got in trouble in school. That was the one time I got in like huge trouble.
No, literally, it's annoying when you make any single thing your whole personality. Like, that's why the whole, Disney adult thing or people who are only focused on politics, it's like, it's annoying. Can you just be a normal person and have different parts of you that you exude through whatever you want to do? Like, nobody, like you said, nobody's upset with you for being gay. We're upset that being gay is the only thing about you.
We saw this, some of the response here. This is in quote tweet of this. This is somebody who was a him, by the way. Gender critical ideology has stoked a moral panic over the last few years. They won't stop with trans people. They're going to go after gay people too, right? There's this, hey, they're coming for you guys. When in reality, it's like, no, everyone just wants to be left alone, right? And Phoenix, you've talked about that, many, many times, right? But this person says, yeah, we tried to warn you. We warned you again and again. We have the receipts. Slow clap to the TQ plus who fucked it up in just 10 years. Slow clap to Stonewall, GLAAD, and every other alphabet soup organization. This is entirely on you here.
Can I go one step further?
Yes, Phoenix.
Can I have the super unpopular opinion? That's what I'll do. So everyone can get fucked, if you ask me. Women can get fucked. Minorities can get fucked. Gay community can get all fucked. Here's the deal. Back in the day, we were championing forever. We were trying to get equal rights for everybody. If you asked a '90s kid about racism, like we hated it. We didn't want that, and many of us were championing for equal rights and protections for the gay community, and many of us wanted equal rights for women. And my parents were doing that. I did that. And so I am none of those things. I am not a woman. I am not a minority, and I am not gay, although, well, it's debatable. But I am none of those three things, and we rallied for them. Interesting that none of these people, that as power was coming to them, did they ever say, hey, guys, maybe we should slow down a little bit? None of them said that, not one. And now they're all surprised that everyone has fatigue over each and every one of them. Where were any of you? It turns out that if it's not your thing that doesn't affect you, you're not interested. Any of these groups doesn't give a shit. It's just my group matters. And so if we're gaining power, great. Well, now here comes the fatigue. And so now, unfortunately, you're going to see the polar opposite swing where now people are more racist, more hateful, and want women out of the picture. Because where were the fuck any of you? That's it. That's my unpopular opinion, but it's true.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong if it's unpopular, because the way things swing back and forth, right? We've seen this with culture here.
It's going to go too far now, which we never wanted that. We don't want that, but it's going to happen because these kids grew up now. Think about a white straight male, a Christian. He has been told he is the devil, and he was probably fine with everyone around them and looking at like, is anyone going to defend me? No, you're just going to keep letting me be called the fucking devil, that I'm responsible for every ill will. I'm segregated out of shit. We're told the fact that if that you're white, there's something inherently wrong with you. Well, guess what? Now you get this, and it's going to get far worse. So I tell everyone, get fucked. Seriously, that's my take.
Honestly, your point in that reminds me of one of my favorite poems of all time called First They Came. And it literally is a whole poem about, like, well, because I wasn't a socialist, when they came for the socialists, no one spoke up. I didn't speak up. And then when they came for me, there was no one left to speak for me. And that is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, I've heard that poem as well. Let's see. It was, this right here. This is actually... Here you go. They came first for the communists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a communist.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came for the Jews. I didn't speak up because I wasn't a Jew. They came for the trade unionist. I didn't speak up because I wasn't a trade unionist. They came for the Catholics. I didn't speak up because I was a Protestant. Then they came for me, and by the time no one was left to speak up, by that time no one was there. Yeah. So
that's the irony. The irony to me is that the people that were fighting for the rights of everyone, myself included, I am now a villain, and I'm looking at no one protect me. No one has my back at all. Yeah. So fuck your fatigue. That's what's going to happen. Here comes the fatigue part. Yeah. I ain't helping.
Yeah. Why would you? What's the motivation?
Well, Cabrutus came in, obviously big friend of the show, founder of DEI Detected. Cabrutus came in and says, I know there are gay people who are not part of the insanity brought by woke culture and DEI, and I genuinely feel sorry for them because I know they will suffer the consequences of this despite not being their fault. Only a complete idiot would fail to realize that the more something is forced and imposed in an authoritarian way, the greater the rejection will be. And as time goes by, the snowball just keeps growing. The next years will be full of pain and gnashing of teeth for progressives and authoritarians. They will be defeated across every area of society. And honestly, that's wonderful. So, yeah, man, it's interesting. And I think, I said this before, it's going to get worse before it gets better, as far as the swing back of this thing. And I don't know. I would just love to hear y'all's thoughts on this. Kay, you said you were penalized for, talking about people just gay people acting normal, in your words. In school for saying that. What was, when you were penalized for that or punished for that, like what was the logic behind it?
Pretty much, they said I implied that gay people weren't normal and that they shouldn't have to act normal and that we should facilitate them being able to be vocal about the problems that they go through. And I had to write about it and stay after school for an extra hour. To which I just completely refused and sat there, and I got in more trouble. And I was super young, like
I love that.
super young. Like I'm talking like grade 1, grade 2 area. Like it's insane to even punish a child at that age. That should be the education side of it, right? But I was just like, nope, don't care. So I was in trouble for a very long time because of that. And I was pretty much just told that I had behavioral issues, and they tried to like get me into like therapy and drugs and all that, like just over this. Like it's insane.
I love that for
Like
you. You were
it's
so young.
insane.
Oh, I love
So yeah, they pretty much
Well
said I had
done,
anger
Kay.
issues,
Yeah.
which is probably true. I probably do have anger issues. Yeah, so it was a whole spectacle just
That's
off of me
awesome.
saying that. And then later on I got in trouble for a comment about World War II. I've always been a menace.
He was right.
Otherwise, great student. It was just that stuff.
Let us know your thoughts about this in the chat and comments down below. It's interesting. I know we've all seen this, and we, as Cabrita said, we've been warning people. Hey, this is not going to end well. This has been the big fight for the big point of conversation. Is like, hey, you guys want to keep pushing this stuff? It's not going to end well for you, you know. And here we are. And they go, "What happened? I don't understand." Your dad said you should watch this next video, and you don't want to disappoint Dad, do you?